What's up, everybody? Welcome back. I'm Abe, this is EVE Online, and now that the Lifeblood update has been implemented, it looks like some things have changed, and I thought it might be interesting to come in here and play around with some fittings for the Rifter, because that used to be the Minmatar mainstay, and if I recall from many years ago, it used to be somewhat overpowered. It has since fallen from grace, but I don't know, they changed some of the slots on us, and made it be interesting to see. Yeah, Ella, I know. See what we can do. So they added a low slot and took away a high slot, and when they did that, they mentioned maybe adding something that would. They mentioned sort of using an artillery fit for this. So let's get into it and check things out. Let's see. Let's see what we can do. The neighbor's dog is barking because why not? Yep. It's okay, Rocky. Artillery cannons. We are small. All right. So I think 280 millimeter are the slow ones and 250 are the faster ones. So if we look at this, let's see here. I apologize for the barking, but there's nothing I can do. Accuracy fall off is 8750. Optimal range is 10. So we're probably trying to orbit somewhere in the realm of 13 kilometers. And then if we compare that to the 250, where is it? 250, that's light scout. 250 light artillery cannon. Is that it, maybe? 250 light artillery. Okay, yeah, light artillery cannon. And accuracy fall off, it's a little bit shorter. Rate of fire is 8.5 per shots per. The time between firing shots is 8.5 seconds versus 10.7 seconds. So this does 2.6 damage. This does 2.2. That's heat damage, though. Let's look at the damage modifier. The heat damage there, we're talking to damage to the actual component itself when you overheat it. So what we're really concerned about is this damage modifier. 5.08, and this is 7.043. All right, so 5.08, let's see, 5, that's like 40% more damage on this one than on the 250. So let's use the 280s, and we'll just have a little bit longer range. I'm going to throw on just level 1. Well, yeah, what the hell. We'll just use the cheapest version. We'll do level 1. We'll grab some phased plasma, which should change things. So let's see, before I do that. Fall off range is actually 26 kilometers and optimal is 12. So that's with my skills factored in, and that's good to know. So, okay. So I've got my 3 artillery, and artillery are generally longer range weapons to use. Because of the additional low slot, I kind of want to armor tank it, but in doing so I give up any damage modifiers or boosters that I could use by doing that. So we'll have to think about that. We'll get into this in a second. So for now, we know that phased plasma reduces the range bonus by 50%. So you'll see this is 26 and 12. If I drop phased plasma on here, suddenly it is 6,000 optimal and 20 fall off range. And so generally the equation that I use is like optimal plus 1/3 fall off. So a third of 20 is 6,700 or so. So we'll be orbiting at like 12.7 or around 13K, which is what we were talking about previously. So all right, so we'll leave those on there. And just to start with, let's look at yeah. So I'm going to add some. Okay, these aren't much better, but let's see. Damage modifier 1.08 and 9.5% firing rate increase, 1.07 and an 8%. All right, so we're going to use 2 of these Let's use a damage control. And can we fit a level 2 on here? Yeah, okay. And I'm just sort of... The Eve University hasn't updated with new fittings for this yet, so I'm kind of winging it. I'm looking at a rupture fitting because some of those are using some armor fitting as well. But let's see, that one's shield based, and we've got 3. Okay, I kind of want to do... I don't think I need to worry so much about a tracking enhancer, but I can maybe... Let's see here. All right, we got 2 of these that's adding damage bonus. We've got this for tanking, and let's look for a shield extender. And I think that medium, nope, that's too much. I'm looking at my power grid down there and it's just getting sucked up. So yeah, see, that doesn't use a ton of power grid. These guns do though. And that, and to give that an example, yeah, so each one uses 10 and I've only got 49.2 to, hey, can we activate this, please? There we go. So, yeah, this may be, and you notice how when I hover over these various things, my estimated hit points and all of these things that it affects will light up. So, okay, so let's see. That's 57K, that's 155K. We'll use a slightly better version for that. And right, so there's no drones in here. We've got a shield extender, and we can use an adaptive invulnerability field, which, wow, those are expensive these days. Whew, man. And they're locked behind Omega. All right, so we'll just use a level 1 version. Okay, that's too much CPU. That is unfortunate. We're even using a small... Man, this is going to be... We got to squeeze some things on here. How much? Okay, those use quite a bit of CPU. And that uses also quite a bit of CPU. So usually you can slap on a shield extender that's bigger than the size ship you're on, right? So since this is a small ship, I should be able to squeeze a medium, like one of these babies on there, which is why they're so expensive. These two, this is... Yeah, this one is as expensive as it is because it's got the lowest power grid use. So yeah, so those don't use a lot of power. Man, this is going to be a squeeze. So another way to go about this is we can passive, passive, well, that's all right. So let's view this as PvE. Right, because passive tanking is not really a viable PvP solution. But if we go back, let's see. Let's check out some of what they originally suggested for the Rifter. So now generally they would add like a missile bay out here as a 4th. But we don't have that anymore. And so... Let's see, PvP, Artie Scram Kite. Yeah. Okay, well, they added one of these, so we'll unfit that. And they added a damage control 2, which we've got, and a compact afterburner, one of these YS8 versions. All right, so with this, we will be able to travel, let's see here, 962 meters per second. And they also used an overdrive injector, but I don't know if that's necessary. But we can look at it. So that's 255, that's 10K. Let's just look at the difference here. So we lose some cargo capacity, which I don't care about. Velocity modifier is 10.5% versus 11.75%. So the difference between 1,075 meters per second and 1,063. I don't care enough to do that, but let's adaptive nanoplating. All right, so this is like kind of a basic, very basic armor setup. Now they also have a small ancillary armor repairer which uses nanite paste, and I'm not looking for that. Homie don't have time for that. But in these mid slots, I feel like there's got to be something I can do that's useful. But small transverse bulkhead. The rigs we can look at. Those are drones. There we go. Small transverse bulkhead 1. And what this does is it gives us a 20% structure hit points. And it gives us a 20% structure. Whoa, no. We want a small Trimark armor pump. There you go. Armor hit point bonus 15%. So right now our armor resists are looking pretty good. And if we add one of these, oh yeah, we can maybe even use one of those, which is good. So that's the type 2 version. Not limited to Omega. So it gives us a 20% armor hit point bonus. And then we can increase our resistances to kinetic and explosive if we really wanted to. So we could do a kinetic right there and explosive. Where is it? There we go. Like so. So now we're pretty resistant across the board. Lows at thermal and explosive, but otherwise we're doing pretty well. Now, I don't know that this is necessary, this overdrive, but they don't have any real PvE builds here. So let's look at this medium slot and see what's available. All right. Now, because you generally only want to focus on one tank type, you don't, like, I don't want to now add shield stuff up here because we're already focused on armor here and with our rigs. So instead, if we can, we've got our propulsion, and I don't think we could, we could use a hull repair, but we're not doing any hull. I don't really care that much about capacitor because I'm using projectile weapons, and I could maybe use a sensor booster, but again, I don't think, weapon upgrades. This is for missiles, really. There's like remote tracking. This includes like changes to your targeting range and scan resolution and so on. I don't care as much about that, but if we look at, okay, we can afford both of those. At least, nope, we can't use that. But let's look at it and see what it can do. So it takes a charge. You can either work on your optimal range or your tracking speed. So with this one, like, in general, we can, that's still the script. There we go. as it is now, without a script in it, it gives us a 12% bonus to fall off and a 6% bonus to optimal. Now, I don't know that that's worth it. Matter of fact, I don't feel like it is. So, point of note, if we were really focused on missile launchers, the mid bays here are where you're going to find the gyro stabilizer equivalent for missile launchers. So, yeah. So this looks like it might take a little bit more doing than we've got. But the alternative then is to just outfit it for, you know, some PvP, which is a, what is it, an X5? No, they want a fleeting compact, one of those, and an initiated compact warp. What is that? Scrambler. Yeah, I would have thought. I'd be interested to find what the difference between those are. But there you go. So you get added damage from this. You've got yeah. I mean, this is more of a PvE build, so these two things are probably not very worth carrying, but there you go. So that's one way that you can outfit the Rifter in a somewhat armor-oriented artillery fit. So maybe we'll try to do something with shields in the next one, but like you saw earlier, it's going to be a little harder to fit stuff on here. So we'll keep playing and see if we can find something that'll work out for this and see what that does for us. So thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.